Hi, this is the high voltage junction box of my Hyundai Kona electric. I'm just going to do a quick video on this. I probably won't even bother editing it, so it might be a bit rambly. The reason I wanted to look in here is I wanted to investigate the feasibility of getting a battery voltage out, high voltage battery voltage out for use in vehicle to load, sort of home backup, sort of mains power supply type applications. Let's quickly go through what's in here. So this top connector, this goes to the CCS charge connector at the front. A couple of bus bars on here. There's a connector, all the high voltage connectors have got these interlock connectors, and they're just some pins on there, and there's just a loop back plug, and there's just sort of a connector of some sort on the connector that plugs into these. And one of the reasons I wanted to get inside this was to see what the value of these fuses were, because obviously I wanted to try and figure out, well, where can I take the high voltage off. One option is the battery cable which plugs in here, and I actually bought a spare battery cable from a breaker's yard to look at maybe sort of teeing into this, but this is quite difficult to access, particularly the underside. It plugs in underneath the battery, so it's a bit of a pain to get at. Also, I wanted to look at splicing into this, so I sort of pulled the contacts out of the connector before I made a note of which one went where. So I'm going to have to take the other one off just to buzz it out to check which pin connects to which one. Unfortunately, from here I can tell what the polarity is from here, but I was trying to sort of look at a few other possibilities. This top one, this goes to the PTC heater. Now this is actually quite nicely accessible, so that might be a good candidate, but obviously the issue is actually just getting hold of the plugs. I don't really want to splice into the original cable. The other problem is that this one, the plug sort of goes onto there but then disappears off into the loom, so there isn't a nice sort of two-ended plug cable. You could just get another one, I'll splice it in so you could exchange it, because I don't really want to raise any warranty issues doing this. I want everything to be undoable easily. So we've got, say, the battery supply comes in here. There's two bus bars. The one on the top is the positive. There's a negative one down the bottom that then goes up here. So we've got battery supply into these three fuses. There's one for the PTC heater, one for this connection, which is the air conditioning and heat pump compressor, and the other one for the onboard charger. And the CCS rapid charge connectors go into these two contactors. These are Panasonic AEV F1 4012, which, interestingly, according to the data sheet, is only rated at 120 amps. Now, I'm fairly sure that this is rated to fast charge at up to 200 amps. It will do up to about 77 kilowatts, which is about 200 amps at 400 volts. So I'm not totally sure what's going on there. I mean, it's possible these are special versions, or that rating is the braking rating, and it's able to do more if the contacts aren't opening when the current's flowing, which wouldn't be the case. Yeah, that would be the case in a fast charge application. So at the back, these two tags go inside the inverter and they get bolted in, and then these go to the onboard charger. This was a bit of a struggle to get out, particularly this connector that goes to the compressor, because there's no connector at this end. You've got to like unthread all this through and then untip all these pins, which is quite an effort. I think it's going to take even longer to get it back in. So as regards sort of getting some supply out of it, we've got sort of the possibility of the battery connector, the PTC heater connector. Nicely, there's no switching in here, so it's just a permanent supply as long as the battery is energised, which it will be if the car's in on mode, or it's also got like a leisure mode where it's designed for camping, so it will just turn the high voltage system on with the intention of using 12 volt DC to power things that you might want to use. So one thing I wanted to do was check the rating of these fuses. These are all 40 amps, so that's fine. I'm looking at no more than, say, 3 kilowatt output, so we're looking at pulling about 10 amps. The other interesting thing is these contactors. It's not something I really considered, but I was expecting to be like a little electronics board and CAN bus or something into this, but there isn't. The only connections are here are the interlocks for the high voltage connectors. These just all are wired in series, and these two contactors. So one possibility might be to actually turn these contactors on, and then you get the DC coming out of the CCS port on the front. Now that could be quite nice from the point of view of, you can buy CCS plugs quite easily. There's no need to find, mating connectors for these, and obviously it's accessible from outside the car. You just need to put something in line with this connector to enable forcing it to turn on. So that could be an interesting possibility, but for the moment this was just really an exercise in just seeing what's in here and looking at the possibilities.